Hello everyone, my name is Sonam Narayan and I'm pursuing BLLB from UPES and I'm in my fourth year. And the topic for today's video is basics of RTI. Before beginning this video, I would like to say that this video does not solicit any types of promotion or advertisement as per the guidelines of Bar Council of India. And the sole purpose of this video is for educational purposes only. Now let's begin. So, Right to Information Act 2005 mandates timely response to citizen requests for government information. It is an initiative taken by Department of Personnel and Training, Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions to provide a RTI portal which shall be the gateway to the citizens for quick search of information and on the details of first appellate authorities, etc. Besides access to RTI related information, disclosures published on the web by various public authorities under the Government of India as well as the state governments. Now, what are the objectives of the RTI Act? Now, the basic objective of the RTI is to empower the citizens, promote transparency and accountability in the working of the government, contain corruption, and make our democracy work for the people in real sense. It goes without saying that an informed citizen is better equipped to keep necessary vigil on the instruments of governance and make the government more accountable to the governed. The Act is a big step towards making the citizens informed about the activities of the government. Now, what are the guidelines for use of RTI or online portal? Now, this web portal can be used by Indian citizens to file RTI application online and also to make payment for RTI application online. Now, first appeal can also be done. The first appeal can also be filed online. An applicant who desires to obtain any information under the RTI Act can make a request through this web portal to the ministries, departments of Government of India. Now, when you will go on that website and when you will make a request through the web portal, then you will be then after that you will have to submit at an option which will be displayed as submit request. Now the applicant has to fill the required details on the page that will appear. The fields which are star marked are mandatory while the others are optional. Now the text of the application may be written at the prescribed column. So at present, the text of an application that can be uploaded at the prescribed column is confined to 3000 characters only. Now, in case an application contains more than 3000 characters, it can be uploaded as an attachment by using column supporting document. Now, after filing the first page, the applicant has to click on make payment to make payment of the prescribed fee. After doing that, the applicant can pay the prescribed fee through the way of internet banking through SBI, or can use credit or debit card of Master or Visa, or he can use a RuPay card as well. Now, fee for making an application is as prescribed in the RTI rules 2012. Now, when you will do the payment, after that, an application can be submitted. All right. So, no RTI fee is required to be paid by any citizen who is below poverty line as per RTI rules 2012. However, the applicant must attach a copy of the certificate issued by the appropriate government in this regard, along with the application. On submission of an application, you will get a unique registration number. Which will be issued to you. Now you can this unique registration number may be referred by the applicant for any references in future. Now the application filled through this web portal would reach electronically to the nodal officer of the concerned ministry or department, who would transmit the RTI application electronically to the concerned CPIO. Now, in case there is an additional fee requirement which represent the cost for providing the information, then the CPIO would intimate the application would intimate the applicant through the portal, and that intimation can be seen by the applicant through status report or through his or her mail alert. Now, when you are making an appeal to the first appellate authority, the applicant has to click at submit first appeal and fill up the page that will appear. Now, after the registration number of original application has to be used for the reference. Now, as per RTI Act, you have to pay no fee for the first appeal, and the applicant or the appellant should submit his or her mobile number to receive SMS alert. Now, the status of the RTI application or first appeal filed online can be seen by the applicant or appellant by clicking at View Status option. All right. Now, all the requirements for filing an RTI application and first appeal, as well as other provision regarding time limit, exceptions, etc., as provided in the RTI Act 2005, will continue to apply. Thank you very much.